The reign of Darius marked the true golden age of the Persian Empire, a time when power, culture, and mystery intertwined like never before. Darius was not just a conqueror. He was a visionary who transformed Persia into a sprawling superpower, stretching from the deserts of Egypt to the mountains of Central Asia. His ambition was unmatched, and his legacy would shape the ancient world for centuries. To govern such vast lands, Darius implemented a revolutionary system of administration. He divided the empire into satrapies, provinces ruled by satraps who answered directly to the king. This division allowed for efficient governance over a territory that spanned thousands of miles and included countless peoples and cultures. But trust was scarce in this vast empire. To maintain control and prevent rebellion, Darius created a secret network of spies known as the King's Eyes and Ears. These agents operated in shadows, watching over every corner of the empire, reporting any hint of dissent or conspiracy. No rebellion, no whisper of treason could escape their gaze. This system of surveillance was unprecedented and contributed greatly to the stability of the empire. But Persia was more than politics and power. It was a melting pot of cultures, languages, and beliefs. In the bustling city of Persepolis, merchants from all corners of the world gathered to trade goods, stories, and secrets. The city itself was a masterpiece of architecture and symbolism. Massive columns carved with lions, bulls, and winged spirits towered over grand halls, while intricate reliefs on the walls told tales of tribute, conquest, and divine favor. Some scholars believe Persepolis was designed as a cosmic map, perfectly aligned with the stars to channel divine power and legitimize the king's rule. The city was not only a political capital, but also a spiritual center, where the earthly and the celestial met. Religion played a central role in Persian life and governance. Zoroastrianism, founded by the prophet Zoroaster centuries earlier, taught that the universe was a battlefield between Ahura Mazda, the wise lord, and Ungra Mainyu, the destructive spirit of chaos and evil. This dualistic worldview permeated every aspect of Persian culture. Fire was sacred, a symbol of purity, truth, and the eternal fight against darkness. The Magi, a powerful priestly caste, held immense influence. They interpreted dreams, read omens in the stars, and performed rituals that some say bordered on the forbidden. These ceremonies were believed to wield knowledge capable of altering fate itself. The Magi's power was both revered and feared, as they could sway kings' decisions and shape the destiny of the empire. Economically, Darius revolutionized Persia. He introduced the daric, the first standardized gold coin, which facilitated trade across the vast empire and beyond. This innovation helped unify the diverse economies under Persian control and encourage commerce between distant regions. The Royal Road, stretching over 2,500 kilometers from Susa to Sardis, was another marvel of infrastructure. This ancient highway allowed messengers to travel swiftly, carrying royal decrees and intelligence. Merchants used it to transport goods, and armies marched along it to quell rebellions or defend the empire's borders. Legend says that neither snow nor rain nor heat nor gloom of night could stop the royal couriers, highlighting the road's vital role in maintaining the empire's cohesion. Yet, even in this era of prosperity and order, shadows lurked beneath the surface. The Persian court was rife with intrigue and ambition. Satraps, the provincial governors, often plotted to increase their own power, while generals and courtiers schemed for favor and influence. The Magi whispered of omens, eclipses, comets, and strange dreams that foretold doom or triumph. Darius himself was said to consult forbidden texts, seeking ways to bend fate and secure his empire's future. Some ancient sources hint at secret rituals performed in hidden chambers, where the kings sought divine guidance or protection against unseen enemies. As Persia's influence grew, so did tensions with the Greek city-states. The Ionian Revolt, sparked by Greek cities under Persian rule, ignited the first sparks of conflict between East and West. The revolt was brutally suppressed, but left a lasting scar on Persian-Greek relations. Darius responded with force, launching a massive invasion of Greece to punish the rebels and assert Persian dominance. This campaign culminated in the Battle of Marathon in 490 BC, where a smaller Greek force achieved a stunning victory over the Persian army. The defeat shocked the ancient world and marked the beginning of a series of conflicts that would define the era. But the story of Persia's golden age is not just one of power and war. It is a tale of culture, religion, innovation, and mystery. A world where kings communed with gods, where cities were built to touch the heavens, and where secrets still lie buried beneath the sands. The legacy of Darius I and his empire is a testament to human ambition and the eternal struggle between order and chaos. As the shadow of Persia stretched across continents, the empire's heartbeat pulsed in the grand halls of Persepolis. Here, the world's wealth converged. Gold from Lydia, lapis lazuli from Bactria, ivory from India, and spices from Arabia. The city was a living symbol of Persian might and unity, its terraces alive with the colors and languages of dozens of peoples. But beneath the surface of this dazzling order, the empire was a cauldron of ambition, intrigue, and secrets. The Persian court was a world unto itself, a labyrinth of power, where every gesture, every word, could mean the difference between glory and ruin. Satraps, the provincial governors, arrived in Persepolis bearing tribute and news from the farthest reaches of the empire. Some came with gifts and loyalty, others with veiled threats and hidden agendas. Darius, ever the strategist, played these men against each other, rewarding loyalty but never hesitating to crush dissent. The king's eyes and ears, his legendary network of spies, moved silently through the corridors, listening, watching, and reporting every whisper of conspiracy. Yet, even the king was not immune to fear. The Magi, keepers of ancient wisdom, warned of omens. Eclipses that darkened the sun, comets blazing across the night sky, and dreams filled with cryptic symbols. In the fire temples, sacred flames burned day and night, tended by priests who believed that the fate of the empire depended on their vigilance. Zoroastrianism's dualistic vision of light battling darkness, truth against the lie, was not just a religion, but a philosophy that shaped every decision, every law, every war. The Persian elite lived in splendor, but their lives were governed by ritual and tradition. Banquets in Persepolis were legendary. Tables groaned under the weight of exotic foods. Musicians played melodies from distant lands, and dancers performed for guests from Egypt, Greece, and India. Yet, even in celebration, there was an undercurrent of tension. Poisonings, betrayals, and sudden disappearances were not uncommon. The court was a stage for both magnificence and menace. For the common people, life in the empire was a tapestry of opportunity and uncertainty. Farmers tilled the fertile lands along the Tigris and Euphrates. Craftsmen produced intricate jewelry and weapons, and merchants traveled the royal road, their caravans laden with goods and stories. The empire's infrastructure was unmatched. Canals irrigated fields, bridges spanned mighty rivers, and postal stations dotted the highways, ensuring that news and orders traveled swiftly. The daric, Darius's gold coin, became a symbol of stability and prosperity, accepted from Egypt to India. But the empire's vastness was both its strength and its weakness. In distant provinces, local rulers sometimes chafed under Persian control. Rebellions flared in Egypt, Babylon, and the satrapies of Asia Minor. Some were crushed with brutal efficiency. Others simmered for years, draining resources and testing the resolve of the king. The king's eyes and ears were always on alert, but even they could not prevent every plot. As the Persian Wars raged on, the empire faced its greatest external challenge, the Greeks. After the shocking defeat at Marathon, Darius was determined to restore Persian honor. He began preparations for a massive invasion, but fate intervened. He died before his plans could be realized. The throne passed to his son, Xerxes I, a king whose ambition matched, and perhaps exceeded, that of his father. Xerxes' reign began with a display of overwhelming power. He assembled one of the largest armies the world had ever seen. By some accounts, over 1 million men, though modern historians debate the numbers. The Persian host crossed the Hellespont on a bridge of boats, a feat of engineering that stunned the Greeks and terrified their allies. The invasion was not just a military campaign. It was a statement to the world that Persia was unstoppable. The battles that followed became the stuff of legend. At Thermopylae, a small force of Greek warriors, led by King Leonidas of Sparta, held the narrow pass against the Persian tide. Their sacrifice became a symbol of resistance and heroism, immortalized in myth and memory. Xerxes pressed on, capturing and burning Athens, but his fleet met disaster at Salamis, where the nimble Greek ships outmaneuvered the Persian armada. The defeat at Salamis marked a turning point. Though Persia remained a superpower, the aura of invincibility was shattered. Back in Persia, the consequences of these wars rippled through the empire. The cost of the campaigns strained the treasury, and the loss of prestige emboldened rivals and rebels. Xerxes returned to Persepolis, where he sought solace in the rituals of the Magi and the splendor of his court. But the king's confidence was shaken. Paranoia grew. Executions and purges became more frequent. The court, once a place of celebration, became a nest of suspicion and fear. Yet, even in adversity, the empire's cultural achievements flourished. Persian art reached new heights. Reliefs at Persepolis depicted not just kings and warriors, but scenes of daily life, processions of tribute bearers, and the harmony of diverse peoples under Persian rule. The architecture of the empire inspired awe, massive columns, intricate capitals, and grand staircases designed to impress visitors and remind them of the king's power. Religion continued to play a central role. The Magi's influence grew, and Zoroastrianism became more deeply woven into the fabric of the state. Fire temples multiplied, and the rituals of purification and sacrifice became ever more elaborate. Some believed that the king himself was a bridge between the mortal world and the divine, responsible for maintaining the cosmic balance. Legends spread of secret ceremonies held deep within the palaces, where the king and the Magi sought to commune with Ahura Mazda and secure the far. The divine glory that legitimized royal authority. The Persian Empire was also a land of stories and mysteries. Travelers spoke of hidden chambers beneath Persepolis, filled with treasures and forbidden scrolls. Some claimed that the Magi possessed ancient texts from Babylon and Egypt, containing secrets of alchemy, astronomy, and prophecy. Others whispered of lost tombs, cursed artifacts, and prophecies that foretold the empire's doom. As the years passed, the strains of war, rebellion, and court intrigue took their toll. Xerxes, once a mighty conqueror, became increasingly isolated and suspicious. His death, possibly at the hands of a courtier, ushered in a period of instability. Succession crises, assassinations, and revolts weakened the empire from within. Yet, even as its power waned, Persia's legacy endured. The ruins of Persepolis, with their silent columns and weathered reliefs, stand as a testament to an age of ambition, innovation, and mystery. The stories of Darius, Xerxes, the Magi, and the countless peoples who lived and dreamed under the Persian sun continue to captivate us. Their world was one of splendor and shadow, where the boundaries between history and legend blur, and where the secrets of the past still wait to be discovered. In the next chapter, we will journey deeper into the twilight of the empire, into the intrigues, betrayals, and final battles that would decide the fate of Persia and echo through the ages.